Hello, and welcome to another Monday's live stream. Feels like ages since I've been live, but we're back live today talking about what is the best type of social media content that we should be posting out. So today I'm going to be sharing lots of tips about the type of content that should be going out across your social media to increase your engagement and basically to get yourselves seen. I'm also going to be running a competition at the end to win some exciting chocolate. So do stay to the end if you want a chance to win some chocolate in a fun little competition that I'm running. So if you're watching here, please do introduce yourselves, tell me who you are, tell us, share some details about your business. I'd love to find out who you are and what you're all about. Oh, hi, John. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hi, Amanda. Thanks for saying hello. So today we're going to be sharing some content. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen. So because I've got some quite exciting examples of some really good posts that have gone out across social media. Okay. So for those that don't know me, I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I train businesses how to effectively use social media. And you'll find me every Monday doing a live stream like this, sharing lots of tips and advice on how to stand out from the crowd from your social media. Oh, hi, Kate. Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hello. Again, please, everyone, do introduce yourselves and say hi. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to share my screen with you. I'm just going to move you guys over to here. And I'm just going to add this to the screen. Again, if you've got any questions whilst we are streaming, please do put them in the chat because I'd love to say hello and answer any questions that you've got. So again, this is me, Bex Bate from Social Media Executive. And if you want to link with me on LinkedIn, you can just scan that QR code because I'd love to connect through LinkedIn. So let's move on then. So what are the most important things that we need to consider when it comes to our social media content? And again, if you've got any ideas, please do post them in the chat. But we've got to think when we've got our social media, what should we be posting? Because we all too often get embroiled in what we want to get out there. What do we need to sell and things like that? Okay. So let's have a look then. These are some of the key points that I know work really well. Okay. Oh, hi, Zena. Hi, Zebby. Thank you for saying hello. It's good to see you here today. Okay, right. So the first thing then is consistency. This is one area that lots of businesses fall down on. And this, for me, is one of the most important areas when it comes to social media. And it doesn't matter what platform we're talking about. Unless you're on Pinterest, you can get away with consistency if you're not on Pinterest and still get loads of views because that works like a search engine. But if you're trying to be active on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, if you are not consistent with your content, those social media platforms will massively reduce your reach. Okay. The social media platforms are constantly analyzing everything that we do, everything that we post, everything that we click on. This includes your business pages. If you're not posting content out on a regular weekly basis, those social media platforms will favor those organizations that are. And if those organizations are your competitors, then ultimately it's potentially your competitors who are getting seen more. It's no good doing 5 posts one week, then getting too busy and not posting any for 3 weeks. Okay, we've got to do little and often. The other thing that a lot of organizations fall foul of is talking in plain language. Okay, I do it myself. I've had to teach myself to keep things really simple. You'll very rarely hear me talking about SEO and CPC and algorithms and things like that because a lot of my customers don't have a clue what that means. And the minute I start talking in industry speak, it puts people off. We want to talk about really simple, plain language. Really take out the jargon and keep it really simple to help people resonate and understand what you're trying to say on social media. It's very informal social media as well, so this is where you get your informal language out there. Don't try to be too formal. Certainly never add in any acronyms. Okay. So the other thing is planning. When we're looking at social media, we've got to think of our wider business objectives. Why are we here? Social media should never just be a tick box to say, oh, that's okay, we're on social media, we're doing it. It should be linked to your wider business plan, your wider business strategies, and most importantly, what you're hoping to achieve, your KPIs, your key performance indicators. What are your targets this month? How can your social media support those targets? Maybe you've got an event to fill in 4 weeks. Well, start talking about it now on your social media. Talk about planning. What have you got coming up that might be selling? I've got a new group launching this week. So for a lot of you might have seen loads of posts on the run up talking about how I've been developing the new logos, the images and things like that. Think about it in advance. There's no point posting out something as soon as it's gone live. You want to tweak little teasers out. So planning in advance saves you so much time and effort, and ultimately social media is a lot more effective. Understanding what makes good content. This is really important. Understanding what is working well on social media at the moment. What those robots, social media is just one big automated robot in the background. What people refer to as algorithms. Those robots have rules they've got to follow. Some content that worked 12 months ago may not work very well now. So if you're just rinsing and repeating a lot of what you did last year and you're like, well, why am I not getting as much engagement or visibility? Then it's probably because the algorithms, the little robots that work in the background, they've changed their rules about what type of content they know is popular on social media. So having that understanding is really important. The other thing that we want to understand is anything that's new and interesting. Okay. Social media is about publishing new, interesting information that potentially has never been shared before. This is what the social media platforms love. If you're just sharing, talking about stuff that's already happened, repeating images and text that you've used before, your reach is going to drop. It's not going to be put in as many people's news feeds, okay? Because the social media platforms know when it's not new content. And it's got to be interesting for your audience. So your followers, if they're not engaging with it, liking on it, commenting and things like that, those social media platforms think, oh, not interested in that. Therefore, it's not going to share those posts very widely. So you've got to get new and interesting content out there. Okay. Engagement. I've touched on this already. What we're looking for on social media is engagement. Okay. Engagement on your posts, comments, likes, shares, clicked to look at the images, that sort of thing. That is like gold dust. But also, they're not just looking for engagement on your posts. Are you engaging on other people's posts? That is actually equally as important. Okay. So engagement, massive. It's not posting and running anymore on social media. That worked 5 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. Okay. And again, if you've got any questions, just put them in the chat. And if you're enjoying this live stream, please do give us a thumbs up and click subscribe or follow for lots of tips on social media. Okay, so a question for you all now. Is this a good post? So here we've got a post. And again, post any comments in the chat. But is this a good post? So this is from a pub called The Last Post. Now you can see here, there's got some text. He's cut his chin off there. He's even cut his head off there. So is this a good post? The images don't particularly look very professional, do they? Okay. What do you think? Does that look good? Well, this post reached 8,990 people. It had just short of 3,000 engagements, over 200 likes, 59 comments, and 37 shares on Facebook. Okay. So you might look at this and think, oh, it's not very professional. The images don't look brilliant. But actually, it is a good post because this pub really, it had just over 2,000 followers at this point in time. And yes, you're absolutely right, John. You've hit the nail on the head. It's asking a question straight away. Beer garden. So it's intriguing. It's using that sort of plain language that we talked about before. It's got that plain language in there. When was the last time you were in this garden? I'm guessing it was when it was the junction. So it's talking directly to the customer. It opens today at 12. So they've just opened a new beer garden. And then there's a bit of intrigue. The entrance is only available through the secret function bar inside the last post. And we'll give you a guided tour. And it's also the only pub in the village with air conditioning if you get too warm. So again, it's actually, it's selling people. It's saying, come to our beer garden, but in quite a nice talking plain language. And it's really set out nicely. So that post did really well. And actually, images that aren't beautifully crafted, that are just snapshots, work really well. Because you want to click on that to see who is stood on that table. You click on it, who's standing on that table, to see who it is, because they cut the head off. And that click counts as engagement. Okay. So all of a sudden, Facebook is like, oh, loads of people are clicking on that post. That's engagement. This is popular. We're going to share it to a lot more people. Okay. So it's new and it's interesting as well. So it's ticking two of those boxes that we mentioned earlier. Okay. And again, don't worry, at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing loads of social media content ideas as well that you can post like this. Now, question for you. Does anybody know what is the most liked Instagram post ever? Now, this one might surprise you, okay? It is actually, as I know, you're probably not typing quite so quickly, but the most liked Instagram post is this. An egg. Does anybody know why? Anybody know why an egg is the most liked Instagram post ever? So this was the only image. This is the actual image that went on Instagram. Okay. This actually got over 56.1 million likes. So John said something to do by Elon Musk. It's this egg. Elon Musk has done lots of popular posts, but this egg created the most likes on Instagram ever. Okay. And why? So the big question is why? Why on earth did a picture of an egg? Maybe they've got thousands and billions of followers. Okay. Kate from Fox Graphics says, how do you have your eggs in the morning? Well, do you know what? I really love a boiled egg. I do. Anyway, getting back to it. Basically, I'm going to suggest you all have boiled eggs, but don't post them on your social media. Basically, this was a brand new account, and it was called an account created World Record Egg. So it started with no followers, and it's basically just posted this one post. It's only got this one post on Instagram, and it said, let's set a world record together and get the most liked posts on Instagram. So basically, it's a bit of clickbait, okay? It's basically pouncing on that engagement. It's saying, like this post, see how we can do. See if we can break a record together. Let's break an egg together, okay? So basically, this was an engagement post, and it was just asking people to like it. It ended up, I think the account's got just over 4 million followers now, and it's never posted again since. It's just this one single post. So should we be doing stuff like this on our social media? Well, no, because this was just a bit of a gimmick. It was a bit of sort of clickbait, and actually What was the purpose of it? Nobody gained from it financially. And at the end of the day, we're in business. Okay. So that was a bit of fun. But social media platforms don't like this. Oh, like this post, share this post. They don't like people prompting that. If you're doing a post, it's a lot better to reach a fewer number of people who are your ideal customers and actually who are really interested in investing in your brand rather than trying to go out to the world and get a gazillion followers. Okay. So although this did 56.1 million likes, great, it made a bit of history there. What did it do? It didn't really do anything for anyone, but it was a bit fun. So how about this one then? The most liked Facebook post ever. So anyone know what the most liked Facebook post was ever? I shall tell you before you write in the chat. Basically, this is the most liked Facebook post ever. This one got over 15.7 million likes on Facebook. Okay. But why? Why is this post the most popular post? Well, basically, this is a post by a very famous he's basically a New York Times best-selling author, business entrepreneur, speaker, coach. It's Nick Vujicic, for those that have heard of him. And basically, he's just shared a post of him and his family on the beach. Now, yes, he's had lots of followers. He started off with lots of followers here, a few million followers on his Facebook pages already. But why has this done really well? Because basically, this is, again, it's a snapshot. He's not trying to tell us anything, but we're getting a snapshot into his life behind the scenes. It's interesting, okay? It's telling a story. That's him and his family. Everyone's happy for him. They're on holiday. They look like having a great time, okay? And he's not trying to tell us anything. This type of content on social media works phenomenally well. This is putting the human side into your social media. It's humanizing your brand. It's putting people in the picture. It's actually building trust. So if you can get pictures of you and your team, your director, the business owner, the staff behind the counters that might be serving people, these are the pictures that really resonate with people on social media. Now, you're not going to get 15 million likes like this one, but as long as it's getting liked by your ideal customer and your target market, your existing customers, then that is perfect. And that's likely to lead to some brand awareness as well as potentially business inquiries. Okay. Now, we're going to move on to, at the end of I'm going to be sharing loads of content ideas at the end to give you a bit more inspiration. But basically, planning your content can be a bit of a burden. And I know that we've talked a lot about planning today, and it can be a bit of a burden. You've got to post, but you don't know what to post. You hit a brick wall. We're too busy to think of ideas, and it's an absolute nightmare. And sometimes we can feel a bit isolated on our own and a bit unsure. What should we be posting? Is it the right thing for my social media? And we get a little bit of that imposter syndrome, and we just don't know how to approach our social media. And let's face it, sometimes a post that we spend hours on that we think that's a brilliant post gets no likes, no engagement, and hardly reaches any people. And then we might do another quick little post, and all of a sudden we get 30 likes. And we're like, where did that come from? Well, it can be a bit of a minefield, and I know that. And so basically, what I'm launching this week is the Social Pluck. It's going to be a social media content group where we're going to run through loads of tips and advice like we are doing today. We're going to have weekly content writing sessions where we all come together on Zoom and write our posts together so that we are getting those posts out, because like I said, consistency is the most important thing. There's going to be a buddy up system, so members of the group will appraise and buddy up and appraise each other's social media to help remove that sort of make sure you're getting across that plain language to make sure people understand what you're trying to talk about, particularly if you're launching a new product or a new service. You need someone to vet it for you in a nice, friendly way. We're going to be doing monthly content, planning workshops that's been available to all members. Again, just to help you with your planning. There's going to be weekly training sessions very similar to this to help you basically with your great content, help you up your game when it comes to content and more importantly, visibility. There's going to be loads of weekly tips, advice and post ideas so you are never short of ideas and inspiration. There's going to be post boost opportunities. So if you do a post and you think, oh, crikey, I'm not sure if it's a very good post, but I could do with a bit of engagement on it, then you can ask members in the group to jump on, give it a bit of engagement to help it reach more of your targeted audience. So basically, this is going to be a really supportive group to take away your content creation burden. So again, if you're interested in finding out a bit more, it launches on Wednesday. Just type in the chat, #jointheflock. Okay. Zena's asked a question. How do we plan our social media posts? Spreadsheet, specialist software? Well, I actually have a content planning tool on my website, and I think it's only about 25 quid. So I tend to use that. It's a really simple tool in Excel, but there are loads of ways that you can plan your content. But again, I can share, Zena, I can share the link to that for you as well, if that would help. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I will send you some more information about our flock. Thanks for putting that in the chat. Okay, so we're launching on Wednesday. It's £450 for the year for all that stuff. We're starting off at a really cheap price point. But if you sign up before the end of September for our early lamb offer, it's going to be £400 for all that stuff. And certainly for the first year, we're going to be doing monthly membership networking sessions so we can all get to know the members in the group as well. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really good. So again, just put the #jointheflock in the chat and we'll keep it nice and simple, because you're absolutely right, Zena. It does get overcomplicated. We do overthink social media, and this is what the group's about. It's just helping everyone keep it simple and things like that, because we do overthink it. So yes, Zena, I will send you those details. So moving on then, what type of content should we post on social media? Okay, what should we post? Well, I'll give you a few examples. Okay, so reviews. Okay, you should always be asking for reviews on your social media. Okay, you get a Facebook review, you get a recommendation on LinkedIn, a Google My Business review, Trustpilot review, whatever review service you use. The minute someone writes you a review, it's in the public domain. So you should be sharing that as a post on your social media. These are very, very valuable. How to posts. Okay, you are the expert in your field. You will see loads of posts of mine on how to, I think the last live stream I did was how to toggle between, how to switch on your Facebook profile and your business page now that it's changed under the Facebook new business page experiences. That was my last video. I do loads of how-to posts. So if you know you're the expert, tell your customers how to do things in your field, okay? Behind the scenes, we've looked at some of those behind the scenes pictures from a couple of examples I showed earlier from the last post. Behind the scenes work phenomenally well. People are nosy at the end of the day. Lots of tips and advice. Can you give your customers, potential customers, tips in relation to what you're selling? Okay. Can you give them some advice on the services that you provide? Or even when they signed up to those services, what sort of tips and advice are in those services? Give away your best insights. People post, anything with people in. If you're going to events, if you're running events, if you've got a shop, if you're in a leisure, take pictures of people with their permission, of course. You need their permission to put it on social media, but posts with people in do really well. It's that thought of that fear of missing out. Oh, they're there. What are they doing? Should I have been there? Products and services. Obviously, talk about your products and services to a certain amount because that's where we're there. We're there to sell our stuff. but it should really not be the main focus of your social media. Infographics work really well, something really visual. They do really nicely, particularly if it's focused on something really helpful for your customers. Lists, you'll often see me doing loads of lists. I have a free PDF that says 5 big mistakes that you could be making on Facebook. It's a list of 5 really important things that you need to consider with your content. Videos work really well. And again, in the social flocking group, I'm going to be teaching you all how to do reels. We're going to be talking about the value of videos. Videos are not going away. They are increasingly important on our social media. Questions. Type a question. Then you encouraging comments. A bit like John said earlier, it's about asking questions. So ask questions. Basically, you want content that resonates with your customer, encourages that engagement, is interesting, and tells them a bit more about who you are, not just the products and services that you provide. So there's some tips about what type of content you could be putting on your social media. Again, if you've got more ideas, please post them in the chat, because again, it's going to be really helpful for everybody. It is about keeping it simple, as Zena mentioned. So that's just a summary of what we should do. And then to finish with, I've just got a fun little competition to run. As you know, I'm launching my new group, the Social Flock. But my new you needs a name. So basically, what I'm running this week is Name That You. So if you can come up with a really good name for my little sheep, then you'll win some. The winner, whoever names this sheep, will win some chocolate sheep. And I'll be posting those out to the winner. So all you need to do, just post it in the chat. Post a fun, interesting name for a sheep, pop it in the chat, and I'll enter you into the draw. And the winning name will be contacted to say that they've won. And then I'll privately message you for your details to post out these chocolate sheep. So please do name that you. Help me basically name my little sheep. Okay, so that is a little bit about what type of content you should be posting on social media. Hope it's been full of lots of ideas. Please do give us a like if you've enjoyed it today. Give us a thumbs up and do subscribe or follow my social media pages. There will be no live stream next week as it is a bank holiday in memory of the Queen. But I will see you again in 2 weeks for some more social media tips and advice. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. See you soon. Bye.